What's up, everybody? My name's Trey. This is Ramsey. Welcome back to Better Day Sports. So happy that you're here with us because we've had some technical difficulties, but we figured it out, okay? And we are just having a conversation, and we really wanted you to be, I guess, a fly on the wall so you can be a part of this conversation too. It's just about LeBron's farewell tour. But Ramsey, kind of tell where you stand, and I think this is a good one. So we'll bounce this back and forth.
You know, I I have some thoughts when it comes to LeBron. The farewell tour as a whole, right? So my hot take is LeBron's been in the league since 2003. It's 2025. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not about to sit here and act like what he's doing is nothing short of miraculous and amazing. Cannot take that away from him. The fact that he's producing at this age is a testament in itself to how amazing he is. I can't take that away from him either. But he is also about to be in his 22nd season in the league. And I'm not about to just sit here and act like LeBron's AARP card in terms of NBA mileage was not cashed 15 years ago.
I
But
agree.
I think he is definitely fighting round for round with Father Time. But it's the reason that Father Time is undefeated. And I just think that we need to level our expectations to what it really comes down to how LeBron's last years in the league, even if years is a plural term, are going to play out. Because one of my hot takes is this could possibly be his last season in the league. I, it's just the way that it's shaping out. And I had a feeling about it going into this season, but the league always loves to garner attention. There was a commercial that stood out to me, and the way that the commercial ended was a LeBron commercial, and it was a Nike commercial. And the reporter goes, "Hey, LeBron, so do you have any thoughts about what you're going to do next year?" He just looks in the camera, and before he can answer, they cut it. So I don't know if it's premonition. I don't know if it's just me looking into something a little too deep, but I'm like, okay, is Nike trying to tease something that they already know that's about to happen? Is LeBron, I just have some
I
thoughts.
mean, it's a good cliffhanger. If nothing else, it gets the conversation going. I feel, and we talked about this earlier, that LeBron legitly could play for 5 more years. Now, would he be a top 10 player in the league? No. I feel like he would definitely probably be outside of that, depending on what the rest of the landscape looks like, obviously. But I think our conversation of LeBron always having to be the best player in the world on his team at all points of time, I think we have to let go of that. I feel like some people have. It's now that Luka came over, they're like, oh, this is Luka's team. LeBron's going to hand over the roles. But it hasn't necessarily come to fruition. I think it's going to help out. Luka's in shape now. This really feels like, to me, Miami felt after they lost that championship when LeBron was there. Like they just needed to kind of get over the hump and things to kind of come together completely. Just the fact that they were there was amazing just on their talent, but they just needed something else that they just didn't yet have. And I feel like this might be the year for the Lakers. And if that's the case, LeBron might retire after they win a ship. He might say, okay, I'm good. Like, you know what? This is a great way to go out is on top. But if they go out Western Conference Finals and he's like, man, I have some more juice. Like, we should have won that game. Or if he misses a shot, he's like, man, I should have hit that. Like, it's not like his body broke down or the team was bad. It was just maybe some bad things just didn't go their way. I could see him playing for a couple more seasons, specifically because I think he wants to play with his second kid. I think that is a milestone that he knows if he reaches it, there's not going to be very many other people ever that are going to hit that milestone. Not only did you make it to the league, you had 2 kids that made it to the league. I know we say, oh, he's just record chasing and stuff, but that stuff matters. And if we're all being honest, it would matter to us too, in a sense, if we're being honest. So,
Um,
Yeah.
but see, that's where I have an issue. Not necessarily an issue. I guess I scratch my head a little bit sometimes when it just comes to certain perspectives around LeBron and playing with sharing the court with his children. It's just Okay, so you mean to tell me that this man who has done all he can, won rings, all-time scorer, arguably could be on the top three of the all-time assist board, but he's not going to catch John Stockton. But he could be there. But I mean, it's just like what are we really doing here? Why are we leveraging our hopes of LeBron continuing his NBA career on his desire to play with his children? I don't get okay. I will say I understand the enigma that surrounds the fact that he will be probably the only player to play with two of his children as
But see,
teammates
I
or
don't. But also, that's not. So the argument isn't I'm only in the league still to play with my second kid. Because I think we could argue that he's still arguably top 10 in the league right now. And you're saying, so yes, I know he's older, but it's not like he's injured. It's not like he's been playing terribly. He's still playing relatively well. So we
he's
would just,
40.
yeah, and he's playing well. Not only for somebody that's 40, he's playing well in general across the field. So he's not, I think it would be different for me if LeBron was 40, but playing how like Kobe was playing the back half of his career. Like when he was ready, when you were like, oh, it's time for him to retire. Like he's been injured too many times. Like this is like it's time for you to hang it up, Kobe. Like we can see that you're just not the same player anymore. And we've seen LeBron regress when it comes to athletic ability, but he's just not at that point where I'm like, oh, you're like you're driving on rims. It's time for you to hang it up. Like I still feel like there's a lot of tread in those tires, to be honest with you.
Well, it's a lot of tread on those tires because LeBron did not play the game that Kobe Bryant played the game at the level
No,
of dedication
like yeah,
that he did.
yeah, completely different players, different eras, everything. But they were like most people in like Vince Carter, Tim Duncan, Dirk. Like pretty much nobody has aged like this across any sport. Tom Brady maybe like for football, but like we've just not seen this type of longevity in a career. And I say like he's playing well, so it's not like yeah, sure, added bonus he wants to play with his kid. Probably, I would say it's probably pretty cool, but that's definitely not why he's still in the NBA. It's I'm still a top player in the world, and I feel like I can win a ring. Maybe I'm not the best player in your team anymore. I might be your second best, but at any point in time, I can be your number one. That's why when people are like it's time for him to possibly retire, I'm like, why? He's like for players right now, if they were having the seasons that he's been having, he still looks like a Hall of Fame type of player at this stage of his career.
I'm not saying that he's not. LeBron's greatness will not be, understated. And this is coming from a Bulls fan, and I'm saying that. I think the prognosis of this whole thing when it comes to this infatuation with like LeBron and these later years of his career, this season is going to be very, very telling on how LeBron is going to walk out and leave us. Do the Kobe Mamba mic drop, for so you say. And the reason I say that is because, okay, like I said, he is 40 years old. This is season 22. 22. I don't think I can overstate that enough. Okay? 22 years is a lot. Kobe Peck played 20. John Stockton played 20. Vince Carter played 20.
No, right, but they're just at completely different places at that time. Like I don't know. Like unless it's a major injury or he just decides when he wakes up one day where he's like, I just don't feel like playing basketball anymore. I just don't see any reason for him not to continue to play basketball.
I don't even think it's injuries at this point. I think that, LeBron is just going to get at that age. Our parents always say it at the same time, eventually, your body is going to, that check engine light's going to come on. And, it's,
Right.
and I think that in LeBron's case, we've never really seen him deal with a substantial injury throughout his career. You know,
I we saw a little bit like 2 years ago. He had the growing, and then
come on now.
look for LeBron. That was that. What other? That's what we. This is the information that we have been provided
I
with.
mean, but that's my point though. We're going off of him, having. I'm not downplaying the injury. Strain growing is nothing to play with, right? But I'm talking Kobe tore his Achilles.
Well, thankfully, to this point in time, we have not. That's not what we've dealt with. We've dealt with a severe growing, and
No ACL, no MCL, no PCL,
right,
no torn
right,
rotator cuff, no lacerate,
right.
nothing like of the all of these stars, no microfracture surgeries, no
No, no.
Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, all of these stars where their bodies just started failing them. We have never seen that from LeBron's camp, and yeah, he takes care of his body on another worldly level, and I'm saying that is in a way still going to be sustainable. I see the way that he prepares for games. What I'm saying is, there's going to be days LeBron's going to wake up and his body's just going to be like, I really don't want you to play today. But LeBron is going to want to play. And it's not that
I
he's hurt, it's not that he's injured. It's just going to be that 22 years of NBA mileage is going to just.
yeah. I mean, I just don't think it's gonna like you make it seem like it's gonna sneak up on this man, and it's just gonna come out of nowhere. I think we're gonna. It's gonna be. I've already seen it just based off of how high he's jumping on just breakaway dunks, on some chase down blocks that he just didn't decide to go for during the regular season. So like we've seen the change in his play style. But now with Luka, I think it prolongs his career. He is no longer the ball has to go through me. I know they tried with Anthony Davis, but LeBron was still running the show because Anthony Davis either couldn't or didn't want to take the torch, it seemed like. And him being able to play more off ball means you get more rest. And I feel like it's really just going to prolong his career, to be honest with you.
And, on the flip side of that coin, I hope it does, right? I hope that his career does prolong and he gets to play as long as his heart can contain. However, Father Time is undefeated. And all I am saying is we don't know how Father Time is going to pay a visit to Mr. James. And it could be not in an injury. And I'm hoping that it's not in an injury. That's what I want to make perfectly clear. I'm not saying that LeBron is going to have an injury plagued season. Don't want that for him. Don't see that happening from him. It's never happened in his career. I don't see it happening now. All I'm saying is, you know how you wake up in the morning sometimes and you got to go to the gym and it's 6 in the morning and it's cold outside and you already sore
Five
from
more
the
minutes.
you sore from the day before. Yeah, and it's not the fact that you don't want to move, you can't move.
That's not it.
You think LeBron's not gonna feel that times 1,000, even if he doesn't, right? It's just like a car, a car can only go so far. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, I think that time frame could be pushed out much farther, especially depending on what this play style looks like. Luka is going to be ball dominant. He's going to be playing more off ball on the wing type of stuff. You've seen throughout his career, at least the second half of it, he's shooting more threes. So if you're telling me he's going to give me spurts of energy to attack the basket every now and then, he's going to play a little bit of defense and chase down blocks. It's gonna be really nice to have a healthy, like rested LeBron going into playoffs and just throughout his career going forward. If Luka can be this main ball handler, I'm telling you, it's gonna make his. I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind players playing winning basketball and trying to win more championships. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all either. I just know that there's some players that just you don't see that for them. You didn't see it for Kobe. Never did we see that for Kobe.
That's because he didn't have a play style that allowed it. You didn't see it for Carmelo. He also didn't have a play style that necessarily allowed it. But people that have that type of play style, uh, and also you don't see that from like top 10 normally type of players because they became great at that one particular play style most times. So if they have to adjust, that's just not what their game can do.
I, I'm with you. I just, if LeBron could be a 1998 version of Scottie Pippen, um, I think that would bode well for him. But I just don't see LeBron averaging 16, 8, and 5 willingly and playing 22 minutes a game. I just don't see it.
No, but I could see him probably giving you. I don't know if he would ever score this amount, but I can see him giving you 18, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds, and one or two defensive actual like sit down in a chair. I'll give you one or two of those a game.
I think that this season is that for him, right?
Yeah, I think that's going forward with his career at what it is right now. If that's what I understand the Lakers to be built like. Right? The ball is in Luka's hands. If Luka doesn't have it, it's because he's drawn a double. LeBron either has a shot or he's going to swing it and have somebody extra open or throw it for an alley oop or something. LeBron is damn near 7 foot, so of course he's going to grab a couple rebounds. And you're telling me he still can't hit a three or dunk on every now and then? Like, yeah, like very comfortably, yes.
Well, I guess we will see if this is, the beginning of the curtain call for LeBron James, I guess, right?
See, curtain call is a strong word and not necessarily one that I would use. Because if curtain call means you coming out of like your prime after that last championship with Lakers, I would have said it's closing. It's been closing for LeBron, in my opinion, for being the number one best player on your team, taking you to a championship. I've been closing that window for a while now.
That's why I say, man, curtain call. That curtain is closing. That's what I mean. That curtain is slowly coming down. The final act is over. We've already been through the final act. Saying we are seeing the end of the movie. That's what I want you to understand, right?
Okay, see, I also don't feel that way. I feel like with this play style, Luca, if he is playing how Luca's playing right now in the Euro League, which is legit MVP caliber type of Luca, for whatever reason, Luca's been telling me all offseason that Marcus Smart is still a defensive player of the year type of player. Okay. Luca said he's never worked out with weights before. All right. I a little hard for me to believe, but if that's the case, then you're telling me we should have a championship caliber roster, and because of that, I'm like, LeBron, if you can give me 18, 10, and 8 and we win a championship, and Luka's doing all the work, run me back as many of those as I can get.
LeBron has 2 seasons max left in the league.
Oh, see, that's wild.
Max. Max. And I mean this with the utmost respect. He has 2 years.
All right, so I will take the over. I will take the over. And what do you want the bet to be? The bet should be something simple. Um, let's do 100 push-ups. Okay, so you're saying LeBron is retired out of the league 2027. Okay, all right. We have it on. I'm glad we recorded this. We have this in the books. 100 push-ups on the line. Cause okay, now if
Season, 2026 season.
okay, so how do you see their season going then?
The Lakers season this year.
Yeah.
Their ceiling, number 4 or 5 in the West, knocked out first round. No, I said ceiling. So their ceiling, they'll get knocked out in the second round because the Lakers don't have the sustainable depth to survive the Western Conference gauntlet. They have Luka, they have LeBron. They've been struggling with center since they've traded for Luka. Their assets are tied. They do not have the depth to be a successful team in the West compared to other teams that are in the West, and that's just facts based on personnel, based on experience, and based on how it looks. I'm just being as realistic as possible. I think if in a really good system they can be number 4, number 5. They might surprise somebody in the first round, but after that, I think that the air's gonna go out a little bit. I mean, look at Golden State.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, I'm not mad at it. I feel like this year is going to be a lot harder than last year's was. I feel like they really had a chance last year. I don't know what happened to them in playoffs, but this may be a lot tougher. I need LeBron to come out to the East. To be honest with you, like just come out to the East. Um, the West ain't where it's at. You don't want to be in the West anymore. Come out to the East. Come to a team that has been bad and will probably have some high picks to get your son in the future. And come on out. Come out to the 76ers. Come out to the 76ers.
Okay, I knew that's where this angle was going. Okay,
out.
all right.
Look, I'm trying to give my team as much help as possible.
Yeah, your team's health rests on the health of Joel Embiid's knees. So
Don't worry. We he's going to retire soon. So we're back in the process. We okay, we need to talk about this. We took Edgecombe when we had Jarrett McCain, who was recovering from ACL surgery, along with Maxey, who all are exactly the same size. We lost depth at our 4 position.
you forget who your general manager is?
Oh, no. You know what he did? Big moves this offseason. You already, okay, I'll tell you, because you look a little puzzled. We re-signed Eric Gordon to a 1-year deal. I didn't even know he was still in the league. I thought he retired years ago. We gave him some money. That's wild. Lowry, we gave him some money. Yeah. I thought he went back to Toronto. I thought they already retired his jersey, and he's on our bench. I did. I was like, there's no way he plays for us. Like, oh, he's still here. Getting a check. Okay, cool. I'm not mad at it, but that's probably why we can't develop young talent, because, our depth chart is old injured starters and then old veteran minimum contracts of old people. Yeah, it makes sense. It's fine. He... And also, I don't really understand, like, PG has always been, like, he's always been Andrew Wiggins to me. He's been a number 2 who, for some reason, we talked ourselves into, like, he's a number 1. And you're like, he's not, but he should be. And because of that, he's a number 1. And you know what? We're going to act like he's a number 1. And he's never been a number 1. Ever.
Well, Indiana.
I thought that was... So, this hot take, I thought that was Danny Granger's team until he got injured. And then it became Paul George's. And the young buck just kind of ran with it. I love that for him. But that's not... You're right. But I just... Like, sure, you can say Indiana, but I think he was just a young dog, and he's like, I got an opportunity, and I took it and ran. But I've never seen him, like, number 1 in Indiana is like a B- on another team. You know what I mean? Like, it's Indiana.
So Halliburton, he a B- on another team.
Now, okay, so the Pacers are in an interesting place. The Pacers have pretty much thrived in mediocrity. And in my opinion, what they have done with the collection of players they now have, they have raised their floor while, in my opinion, simultaneously having a relatively low ceiling. Even though they went as far as they did last year, I felt that second round, like if the Cavs were healthy, the Cavs, like, and I have no problem. Like, yeah, if they're playing healthy teams, I don't think they get this far. So
New York.
So I don't think they should have gotten past the Celtics. So I didn't feel like New York was good because they don't have depth and they've never had depth, and they have a coach that decides to legitly run the car to like the rims. And I was like, oh yeah, they're not. They're gonna get burnt out. First, second round, it's yeah.
I mean, I won't disagree. I guess you could say that I am very well versed in how Tom Thibodeau runs his basketball teams based on his times in Chicago. But I was just curious to see, how those hot takes went before we went really deep into this water hole. I think,
I think.
back to the way I say it like this. I think this season will be very telling for a lot of things. It'll be telling for the Pacers on how they're going to recover or sustain without Halliburton. It's going to be interesting how the Celtics are going to sustain. It's going to be very interesting on what happens with LeBron and the Lakers. If Kawhi Leonard is even going to be a Clipper to open up the season. I know, no ring for Kevin Durant this year, but it's okay. I tell everybody, you know what? I'm going to keep my hot takes about Kevin Durant to myself until our next segment. That's all I'm going to say. So I will round up our curtain call before I get too carried away.
All right. So basically, the conclusion that we have come upon is we have 100 push-up bet going on. My boy Ramsey says 2 years left of LeBron and he's retiring. I'm saying over 2 years. I'm taking the over. He's taking the under. I don't see how I don't have this in the bag. If I'm being honest, Polly, whatever, the betting site probably has me like at 99% taking this. Like, so if I was you, I would bet on the underdogs. It's obviously not me. I'm just gonna put that out there. But okay, you say that, but we'll see. But we greatly appreciate y'all stopping back, just listening to this episode, because we just had some, rabbit holes to kind of jump into. But if you are new to the channel, new to the pod, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell to get notified every time we post a video, and leave a comment in the comment section down below of anything you want us to talk about next, because we're open to ideas. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.